in your college good or not? Better compared to our lab or our class? Better. Okay. Yes, much better. Okay, okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, now, so you go to this file, test synchronize, 2P, and this is the simple file. Okay, for example, we have, let me open my apa? So this is mine. My code. So later I will share with you. Okay. But I just want to wait. STIW not here. Open. Sorry.
Yes, Doctor.
Alright. Okay. Alright. Because just now I'm not very sure why it suddenly disconnect from the sharing. Okay. So this is my class. So when we go back to this file, okay, class, and then what you need to do, so you copy first this. Okay. Copy first, and then my folder here, I create a new Java class, test synchronize. Okay, go back here. Okay, copy everything. Okay, until this lah. Okay. So this is the file. So this file, just to simulate a simple example of how to create two thread. So I create two thread, T1 and also T2. So again, so remember this is also another way how we can create threads, okay, and put the run method inside the during the initializing the thread. Okay, so this is T1, has public void run in integer I equal to 0 and I less than 1000. That means I try to count 1000. Okay, 1000 number lah, 1000 I. Okay, so this T2, and the same thing goes to for T1. Okay, so T1 and this is T2. So T1 will produce, so we'll count. So that means we have 1000 loop, and it will count, it will plus 1 for every loop lah. Okay, so that means the number should be 1000 here, and this is also 1000. Okay, and then I start T1.start. So in this class, public static void main, I have my thread. So that means I call this thread. This method, and then system.out.print line count equal to count. Okay, so that means I want to see what is the result of this count. Okay, so let's say I run this. So the value should be 2000. Okay, so far, do you understand? So why I got 2000 here? Can you understand so far? So why I got 2000? Can you follow until now? So let me down. Okay, let's see something like this. Okay, so that's mean this thread will count. So that's mean, sorry, this thread will do a looping, okay, for 1000 loop, okay, and then it will count for every loop. Okay, the second process go for T2. Okay, so the same logic, the same code. Okay, so now I got 2000. If I run again this one, now you can see 413. So the value now is not 400. Sorry, it is not 2000. So can you understand until now? Okay, so meaning that, as I mentioned last time, when we talk about thread, so everything is not guaranteed. Okay, so your job as a software engineer, so you need to make sure the result is accurate lah. So make sure the result is produce the right result. Okay, so this is my first run. I got the correct result, but for the second run I got inaccurate result. So suppose it should be 2000. Now the result is 413. Okay, so this is what we don't want lah. So if you run again, so you can see the count is 1000. Okay, so that means this result will be different when you run each time in your machine and also in different machine. Okay, so this is the biggest problem lah. So when we dealing with thread, so this is our biggest problem. So we must make sure we can solve this problem. Okay, we don't want this problem happen in our application. Okay, so that's why when you try to transfer data, especially in terms of counting, so you must make sure the count result should be accurate. So especially for a good project, okay. So when you try to run many threads, sometimes they are interleaving between each threads. Now I'm simulating 2 threads. Okay, if I create 3 threads, that means the problem will become bigger lah. Okay, if I increase the thread, that means the problem will be higher. Okay. So this is the problem. The problem when we create two thread to count number. Okay, so the result will be different. It's not only number, but sometimes when you start with string, your string also can be mis display if you want to do some operation at that string. Okay, so this is the result. Hopefully you can try in your machine, so to see what happened. What is the problem in your machine kan? So I'm not very sure. Sometimes you run for the first time is 2000, second time also 2000, third time also 2000, 10 time also 2000. But at the 11th time, so the result will be different. Sometimes like that. Okay. So this is what you need to be careful lah. So when you see this, okay, test synchronize 2P. 2P means problem. Okay, problem. P means problem. When you run this program, you will got big problem here. Okay, so now you go back to the second example here. Okay, so you take this one. Test synchronize S1. That means solution. Solution here. Okay, solution. You click this. You click this. Okay, you can see I do some modification here. Okay, do some modification here. Okay, so what I did here, so I put T1 dot start, T1 dot join, and T2 dot join. So this is how we can influence the result. Okay, so that means as we discussed last time, there are many methods that we can use to influence our result. So one of them is join lah. Okay, popularly used by in order to make sure our result accurate. But as I mentioned last time, when we overuse this join, it will slow down our process lah. Okay, so another thing, what I did here, okay, I instead of count plus plus, if you can see here, so I put here count plus plus here. Okay, this is also count plus plus, right? So I create a new method called synchronize void count. Okay, so inside this I put count plus plus. Okay, count plus plus. Okay, and inside this, instead of I put count plus plus here, I put count. That means I call the count plus plus method. I call the count method in order to count the number of the loop lah. Okay, so now you can copy this. Okay, if you want to modify also can. Okay, so you create this, Control N, Java class, Control V. Okay, go back to this code, and then copy everything here. Okay. So if you download all the repo, all the code in the repo is better lah. Okay, that means you don't have to copy again and again. Okay, so this is the synchronized solution. Okay, synchronized solution. So you must study the code. Okay, because sometime in the exam I just take back this code, and then maybe I just modify here. I put t1.up, and then maybe the loop is different. Okay, maybe this loop 1000 and also this one maybe 500. Okay, for example. Okay, so I just modify from the code lah. So that means you need to try to play with the code. Okay, modify here and there and see what is the result. Okay, so now we run this as one. Run. Okay, 2000. If you run again, so you can get 2000. If you run again, you can get 2000. Okay, so this is one solution lah. So actually there are many solutions we can do. So this is the simple solution in order to make sure our result accurate. Okay, if you run this many times, you will still get 2000. Okay, I test this one many semester lah. So even though I click here many times, the result will still 2000. Okay, so you can try in your machine as well. Okay, so another thing you can try like this. So for example here I put here kan join t1.join, t2.join as a join, and maybe you remove this. Okay, you remark this. So you try again, run. See what's the result. Okay, nampak 255. Okay, 255. So if you run again, 1000. Okay, 335. Okay, so this is example lah. Example that means you can play with the code, here, and then okay, this test synchronize one. Test synchronize one. Okay, so this is example test synchronize one. Actually, it's not. It's a simple apa nama? Simple example. So as you can see here in here, So I put here synchronized keyword here. Okay, here that means in the at the method initialization, during the method initialization. Okay, so synchronize here. But for this one I put the synchronized keyword not at the method level here. Okay, I put in the code. Okay, in the code. So let's say I copy here, Ctrl C, and then go back to the okay. Java class, Ctrl B, test synchronize 1. Then Ctrl C. Okay, so this is the code. So for this code, test connect extend thread. So that means this is the first example how we create threads. Okay, it's like this. So as I mentioned many times, there are many ways how to create threads. That means you must aware. So the several ways how to create threads, because in exam sometimes I just change. I use the same problem, but sometimes I just change the way I create thread. So just to make you confuse more. Okay. Okay. So boy dot set name boy, girl dot set name girl. So that means I create a two thread. One is boy and another one is girl, and then I give the name lah for this name for this boy and girl. Okay, and then I start this. So inside this, I have public void run. So synchronize this, and then this is the code that I want to synchronize. Okay, so this is another way how we can synchronize. Okay, so let's try run this one first to see what is the result. Okay, so now you can see the result is what? Boy 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then girl 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, if you run again, so you can see boy and then followed by girl, the same result. And then boy followed by the girl. It's the same. Okay, boy and followed by girl. Boy. Okay, so it remain the same. So if you run in your computer, so do you have the same result like me? Okay, so just to remind you, if I remove this, you should get what? Remember? Start with 3, 1. Sorry, 3, 1. Thread 1. Okay, thread 1 and also thread 2. So this is the default number. Okay, but most of the time I just leave it like this. So I want you to guess what is the name of this one. Sometimes I do like that. So remember, if I use executor service, so the result will be not thread 1. So what is the result apa nama? What is the name of the thread if I use executor service? Anyone still remember? It has the pool name, right? The pool and also the thread name. Okay. Okay, I just want to ask you. So in this case, now in this simple example, how many thread I run this? How many thread has been created this for this one? Can you type in the chat box? I just want to see how many times, how many threads, sorry, have been created. So the question is, can we use join without using the synchronized count method? So as I mentioned last time, so there are many methods, there are many ways how we can influence the threads. If you manage to get the accurate result, that means you can use without the synchronized. If you can manage, if you manage to write a code that can produce accurate result, that means you don't have to use synchronized. Okay. Because synchronized actually is something like a toll, and toll. So when you want to go to KL, so from Sintok to KL. Okay, so that's mean if you synchronize many times, so that's mean it will slow down your the speed of your the speed of the traffic. If I use analogy for our plus highway kan, so we have a toll at Jitra, we have toll at Rostar, we have toll at Sungai Dua, we have toll in Juru, right? Okay, so during the peak hours, if you want to travel from here to KL, so the traffic will be slow. Okay, because there are too many toll, there are too many block. Okay, so synchronize is something like that. So that's mean it depend if needed, you need to synchronize. Otherwise, don't synchronize. Okay, because synchronize will like join as well, so it will reduce the speed of the process. Okay, so join also will reduce the speed. So if you use join and also synchronize, that means your program cannot become a real time. So that means that if you set to 2 seconds, maybe it will process 2.3 seconds, something like that. Okay. Okay, so back to my questions now. So okay, good. Okay, so some of you said 2, some of you said 3. So the answer is 3. Okay, so I forgot to mention this in our first class. Okay, so when we create thread, here you can see thread kan, thread. So let's say I SOUT thread dot current thread dot get name here. Okay, so you run again, you can see here one more main method. Okay, main method. So your main method is also thread. Okay, it's also thread. But when we discuss, I did not discuss about the main thread because it already there. Okay, we discuss about the thread that we have created. Okay, so remember when you run program, normally your program will have main thread as well. Okay, that means if you create 2 thread, that means altogether 3 lah. If you create 10 thread, that means altogether 11. Okay, including the main method. Including the main method here. Okay, so come back to here, synchronize. So synchronize, let's say I put like this, and maybe you can have the code something like this. Okay. SOP. Okay. Blah blah blah. Okay, Ctrl V. Okay, maybe your code something like this. Something like this. Okay, so in our previous example, test solution like this kan. So that means we synchronize at the method level. This one is what? Synchronize solution 1 here. Okay, synchronize. So that means I put the synchronize keyword during initialization of the method. So that means at the same line with the method name. Okay, so synchronize method here. But for the second one, I synchronize the code here. So that means only part of the code I do synchronization. Okay, so because sometimes you write a very long code, okay, a very long code, for example, kan, maybe 1,000 line of code, for example, kan, 1,000 line of code. So that means you cannot synchronize at the method level because it will reduce or it will slow down all the process of the code kan, to process the code. So maybe what you need to synchronize actually is the critical section. The critical, something that are critical in order to produce the accurate result. So that means, for example, just now count. Okay, the count actually is the critical lah. Okay, so for example, go back here. So count is critical. Okay, count is critical. So you can create apa nama? Synchronize here. Okay, or you can synchronize this line. So because sorry, not this one, another one. This problem, right? Okay, so you can synchronize here. Okay, only one line. Okay, because the rest I think will not influence the result. Okay, so that's mean here count, right? Count. So this count value, this count actually is the critical section. We call it as a critical section. Okay, critical section. Like this. Critical section. Critical section. So these are critical in order to produce the accurate result. So in our simple example, we use as a variable's name, but normally critical section is our RAM, for example, kan? So our memory is the critical. That means you must manage our memory properly. Otherwise, you will get apa nama? Inaccurate result. Okay, so that's the important of to know which one is the critical section. So when you synchronize, you must know which code is the critical. Okay, so you cannot critical all the whole code. Okay, in order to make your result accurate, you synchronize 1,000 line of code. So that one is not the proper way lah how to synchronize the code. So you need to identify which one is the critical. Is the critical section in in your program. So based on that, you can choose either you make a new method, a new short method like this, and do synchronization here, or you can synchronize code part by part, something like this. Okay, synchronize the first part, and then they are blah blah. Maybe this one they are 1,000 line of code lah, something like that kan. Okay, so after that you need to synchronize again. You synchronize one more time. Okay, so this is example lah. This is not what we do in practice, but just to make sure to you to understand. So instead of synchronize the whole method, okay, the whole code in the method, so you can do several synchronization. Okay, part 1, part B, part 2, part 3, and so on. Okay, so that's the alternative that you can use. Okay, because another thing that I want to share with you all. So synchronize, Ctrl C, Ctrl V here. Okay. So sometime, so you try to synchronize like this. Okay, but this is not the right way lah. The right way to apa nama to do synchronization. Okay. So when we talk about synchronization, so you can go to this, this one. Last time I did mention you to download the Java concurrency, right? Okay, Java concurrency. Like this, you can see synchronize here. Okay, synchronize keyword here. Okay, click this synchronize, and then you can synchronize one. Okay, so when you synchronize, do some work. Okay, do some work. That means you can synchronize the object. That means it's just this part of code. Okay, and then synchronize again. Okay, so this means, as you can see here, only one process will do the job at one time. You put here many times, so the rest cannot go in. So desynchronize block. Okay, desynchronize block. So when you exit synchronize, now you can see. So the first one exit, and then the last one go in. Remember, so this one is depend on the Java scheduler because those are in the runnable state. So now you can see, so one go out and then another one can go in. Okay, something like this. Okay, so during this time, if there are some other synchronized job come in, they have to wait. They have to wait like this. Okay, so this is the synchronized behavior lah. So that means at the same time only one process can be processed lah. Only one job can be processed. Okay, for example, like you go to the toll kan. So at one time, so only one car can go to the toll. Okay, so after you pay, then another car can go in. Okay, for one synchronized. So this is the idea of synchronization lah. So you will not allow many process to do the same job at the same time. Okay, to do the same job at the same time. Otherwise, your product, your result will be inaccurate. Okay, any question about this synchronize? As you can see here, down here, Kan? Do some work while condition object dot wait. Okay. And then cache interrupt exception lah. So this is exception. Then you can see here synchronize object condition true object notify. Okay, object synchronize object condition true object dot notify all. So this is when you have many threads running at the same time. So that means you can control not only one thread. There are several threads that you can control in terms of turn. Who can process the critical section at that particular time. Okay, so you can put here wait. Okay, wait. That means they did not do anything, right? Okay, notify. Okay, and then exit synchronize. Okay, notify all. Okay, wait again. Notify all. Exit. Okay, so this is the behavior of synchronization. Okay, so you have synchronize 2, 3, 1 in the synchronize block here. Okay, 5 waiting, and then you can put here wait. Another one can go in. Okay, and wait another one, and then the rest can go in. Okay, notify 1. Sorry, notify 1. Okay, notify 2. Okay, and then exit. Okay, something like that. So synchronize actually is a method to control the critical section. To control the critical section. So there are many things that we need to use this synchronize together with another keyword here. For example, synchronize future executor. So it can be used by a combination of with other keyword here. Okay. So but for example, in a question, I just put normally I just, for the simple one, I just put one synchronize problem, but sometimes I put a combination. For example, synchronize plus executor. Okay, for example, synchronize plus re-entrance lock, also possible. Okay, also possible. So that means you need to understand all this concept, then you know what happened in your code lah. Okay. I think that's all for the synchronize as the introduction. So later we will come back to this synchronize topic again. So and I also will give you some one tutorial. Actually not one, two lah, two. So the first one is join. I haven't give you the join tutorial. So that one I will give you on this Thursday lah. Join and also synchronize. So you can do the tutorial during the class. Okay. So any questions so far about this synchronize? So just now I cannot remember the names. Are you ready to demonstrate your Kafka? I cannot remember the names now. Your Kafka can run now?
Doctor, I only reach until the step 5.
Step 5. Maybe you can
Mm.
show this until step 5. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. So because as I mentioned earlier, so I don't have experience in window. Yeah, I stop my sharing. Can you share IntelliJ? So I run everything from IntelliJ. It's easier. Otherwise, you need to open too many window later on. Okay. But actually it's up to you lah, which one you prefer lah, which one you comfortable. Okay, so what I did here, the first one, I need to add pass into .zchrc. So actually this is my batch file lah. In Windows, I can say that this is something like batch file. Okay, batch file. So I need to put some configuration here to set the home, Kafka home here. Okay, export Kafka home, Hadoop Kafka version lah. And then export path equal to path. Okay, so something like this. So this is I just comment this. I just comment this because I already put the setting, but actually something like this. Suppose it looks something like this. Okay, so not K, like this. Okay, something like this. Suppose like this, but I need to comment this because I don't want to run this again and again. Okay, so normally I need to set this one first. So when you have Spark, for example, or any Java kan, you need to set the Java home, right? Java home. Also the same thing goes to Kafka as well. So it's easier for me to run from anywhere. Okay. And then what I need, the second thing that I need to do, so I run like this. So this is my email machine. So that's why you cannot copy mine. You cannot run this. Okay, just to share you the step that I did lah. Okay, zookeeper.server.start, and then this is the location of the zookeeper properties. So I put in here like this. Then when I want to start this, I just come here. You can see the play button here, the play button. So you just play here and then it will start. So that means you don't have to type again or to copy paste again. So you just put here, in your case, Windows, I am not very sure, but this is in my Mac. So that means I create a file called .sh. Okay, in your case, maybe you can put .bat or .cmd command. I am not very sure, something like that. So that means you need to create one script in your Windows environment. Okay, like this. For example, in order to start Zookeeper, instead of I paste in the command window, I put in the script. So that's why every time I want to use it again, I just run. So run Zookeeper, and then I come here, I come to here. You can see this code for Kafka server kan, and then I run the code, the Kafka server. Okay, just click here run, or you can do like this, run from here. Okay, so that means it's easier for us to modify the command here. Okay, for example, here I have one topic about here, topic hello world. Okay, so that means you have many topic, you create another script. So that means it's easier for you to start again. Okay, and then this is the start for procedure. So the same thing, Kafka console procedure.sh, and then this is the bootstrap server, host localhost 9094, and the topic hello world. Okay, so this is the step that I did in order to test every Kafka server. Every Kafka server work correctly lah. Okay, so then for this, after you have run this, okay, in my case, I create when I run this, now I already run this. I already run. Okay, so if I start from scratch, that means I need to click this button again and again. Okay, and then so this is start Kafka. This is this is Zookeeper, start Zookeeper. This is start Kafka according to this file. and then you can split the screen if you want lah. So actually this is the topic. So I create the topic from here. Okay, the topic, when I run, it will create from here, topic, and then I can type here. Okay, for example, I can type Malaysia, for example, Malaysia. Okay, Malaysia, enter. So I can go to this consumer, I can see Malaysia here. Okay, so this consumer, this is local. So actually this local ni I plan to create to apa nama? To screen side by side actually. Okay. This is one way when you send message, you simulate the producer from the command line. Okay, from here inside this IntelliJ. So let's make everything inside in one place lah. Okay, and then this is what I ask you to write. Okay, to write about the producer using Java, right? So it's something like this. Okay, something like this. So you need to create the file. You can put the config file like this inside this. Okay, so public static string. So the bootstrap server, topic name, even number and so on kan. Like this, you can do like this, or you can do like Kafka properties, server properties. When you want to run, before you run the Kafka, right? You need to configure the properties file. So you also can do like that. That one is the good one. So this is just example. This is not the best. Okay. But when you come to the producer, okay, you can run something like this. Okay, so you need to do some, create the property and put all the configuration file like this, and then you can run. Okay, for example, here I want to run this. Maybe I want to modify this and test Kafka Hello World, Hello Malaysia, maybe like this. Okay, so I loop this for 10 times. 10 times. So run. So if I run this, you can see, so this is a log file. I haven't configured the log file, but process finished with exit code 0. That means there is the code can be run successfully lah. Okay, and then you come back to terminal. So you go to consumer. You can see here. Test Kafka Hello World, Hello Malaysia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is one way. If you use Maven, but in this Maven file, what you need to do, you need to go to pom XML and import this Kafka client. Okay, Kafka client. This is the configuration that you need to put in your dependency, like you did in the apa tu, yang calculate execution time. Stopwatch, right? Stopwatch. Am I correct? Okay, so you need to do like that. So you need to find this. You must go to you must go to this Maven repository. You go to here like this Maven repository and type Kafka client. Kafka client. Okay, enter Kafka client, and then where's Kafka? You see this symbol, this Kafka symbol. Okay, Kafka. And I think this one, the first one, but yeah, Kafka client here. Okay, click this, click 3.6. Okay, you can see down here. So this is Kafka client. So you can copy from here. So this is how we can get the dependency. Okay, and then come to the next one. So this is the dependency. And if possible, you can also configure the log. Okay, in my case, I haven't do anything about the log. Okay, and when you run, you can do many things lah, because you feed the producer using the code, Java code. That means you can do many 1,000, 1,000,000 and so on lah. Okay, otherwise you need to type 1, 2, 3 and so on lah. When you have problem, then you need to type again. Okay, so this is one way lah. One way. That means you use Java with Maven. So in order to communicate your Java program as a producer with the Kafka server. Okay, so this one way. But I'm not very interested with this style, because this is just as what we call as a beginner style. Okay, so that's why in your project, I give you option, right? One of the option is Spring Boot. Okay, so that's why I create example for you as well. Spring Boot. Okay, so this Spring Boot, okay, the beauty of this Spring Boot, so when you go to this form XML, so you can see you have this Spring Framework boot, and also Kafka here, like this. Okay, so the Spring Boot, the way we write code a little bit different, but it is more professional. I can say more professional like lah. Okay, so you can, the way you can do the configuration is something like this. Okay, you use bin here, configuration, you can see. Okay, so that is the apa nama, we use hashmap. Okay, so it's easier for us to transfer. It's not only one string. You can transfer later on, you can transfer record, you can transfer object and so on. So it's much easier when you want to transfer a type of event. For example, you want normally we transfer string, right? String, but we also can transfer integer. So that's why as you can see here, a string here for the message here. For the message object here. Okay, object. So that means you so later you can change anytime about the message. Okay, so you use the factor, producer factor, Kafka templates. Okay, so this is the way that for me the better way. So you have this, you need to use this like this. Okay, but again, so this is the better way to do Kafka producer, but you need to put more effort lah. The learning curve actually is longer lah for this Spring Boot. Okay, but if you go to the YouTube, you can see there are many examples using Spring Boot compared to the pure Java. Okay, so that's why in my advice lah. Okay, since you are doing this, why not you go for the Spring Boot? So Spring Boot is more professional, is more valuable for you when you want to put in your CV and so on. Okay, so that's mean in this when you use Spring Boot, we use Maven plus Spring Boot framework. It's easier for you to configure if you deal with multiple type of object. Okay, so that's one is better for you later on lah. Okay, but for this project is up to you lah. It's up to you which one you want to use lah. Okay, I just want to give you some ideas how you can you can do the producer and consumer later on. So this is the example. When you run this Spring Boot, you can see something like this. Here Spring. Okay, Spring, and then it will produce some information for you, blah blah blah. And then this is the configuration you can see here. Okay, so later you can have the web application. You can create the web application, and also you can control from there. Okay, so there are many things that you can do. Okay, so this is example lah. So when you use the Spring Boot. Okay, another one maybe Kafka topic procedure Spring Boot application. So this is how I transform data lah. Okay, so this is the main method. So in this main method, so only a few line of code. So that means you have done the configuration in somewhere else. Okay, for example, here I configure here the Kafka producer config and also Kafka topic config. I create like that. And then in the main method, I just put this line message. For example, hello world, hello from Spring Boot. Okay, Spring Boot, maybe I put here Malaysia down here. Okay. So when I run this, okay, for apa nama? For Kafka producer. Here you can see hello from Spring Boot Malaysia. So that means I have one application, what we call as the first producer. I have another application here. So this is the second producer. So that means I can transfer or I can share. So I cannot say can share. I can transfer to the same topic, to the same topic. So that means, so you can create another later on to one consumer, two consumer, and so on. So in this case, by using when setting Kafka server, so you can transform a few topic through a few consumer, and also you can through a few producer, and also you can create a few consumer as well. Okay, so that means you can interchange the message based on the topic later on. Okay, but this is the simple example to show the concept to you. But actually for this Spring Boot, as you go down here, from XML, so you can see here down mana Spring here packaging WAR. Okay, WAR. So this WAR actually for web. In Java normally we use jar, right? .jar, but WAR for web application, web. So that's means you from here you can develop a web-based application. So in order to monitoring or filtering and so on, from here as well. Okay, so that for me, if you have time, go for Spring Boot. Okay, because the process is more structured, is more professional. I can say more professional, but more and also more valuable. Okay, so that means if you can put in your CV later on saying that you have experience Kafka and Spring Boot. So that one is most demanding job in real-time application lah. Okay, if you interested to do the same the same application again lah, real time again. Okay, so this is the idea lah. So you can share the topic between a few applications. But when you create like this, normal normal Java Maven file. So it's still okay if you want to use this as a consumer, but it cannot convert to the web-based application later on. So that's another problem. So you need to create a new one. Okay, but for this project, for the group project in this class, I give you flexibility lah. So you can choose which one you are comfortable with, or you capable to submit your group project. Okay, so I think that's the example that I can give you for the idea. Okay, because once you know how to install the Kafka, do the connection between producer and consumer, and you need to know how to transmit, how to put the data from Java application. Okay, but this one, as I mentioned, I also give you a choice. Okay, if you cannot manage to get the Java as a consumer, you also can use Python or Scala lah. Okay, because Python, I also can see there are many examples using Python as well. Okay, it's more shorter lah. The code is shorter compared to this Java. Okay, but you never learn Python. I can say that majority of you never learn Python before. So that's why I will encourage you to go for Spring Boot. Spring Boot is based on the Java programming. Okay. So I think that's all. That's all I want to share with you all. So hopefully you got the idea. So you got some ideas lah how to create the consumer later on. Okay. Okay, so I think that's all for today. Just come back to your attendance. So for this coming when SQL Server kan, so that one is a relational database. But if you want to store in the relational database, that means you need to read the JSON file and do some I can say transformation lah. Okay, so you need to filter before you put in the table. But if you want to put in the NoSQL SQL, so that one is different thing. NoSQL SQL is not like a table. So you need to study the table that you want to use lah. Okay, so like image and video. So like image and video, image and video. So this is not my project. This is my project. But in case you want to know, you can use apa nama? HDFS. Sorry, I forgot the name. Okay, HDFS actually you can is a file-based system. You can install any file, audio, image, kan, text file. So any file you can put there. But that one you need to install the Hadoop. The Hadoop, as I mentioned last time. So Hadoop cannot run on Windows like me. So you need to install virtual machine. So what I'm trying to say, so when you install Hadoop, your computer will be a little bit slow. Okay, based on the spec of your computer lah. Okay, if you have high spec, I don't think that you should have any problem lah. Okay, is the workflow diagram of the system? Is it the flow diagram of the system? It depends how you want to present your architecture. Okay, so you because now you have Kafka. Kafka, for example, if you want to use database, if you want to use many consumer, many producer, so it's up to you how you want to represent the architecture. So there are many ways. As long as the whole class can understand, especially me lah. I want to ask about a round robin scheduler must have process start from zero, or this one is it is sometimes the process must start from zero as arrival time. Is possible. Possible zero. If not, response time will be negative value. Because when you put round robin, so you must be careful lah. Some of process you give a higher number, and then intermediate number, and also low number. Okay, otherwise, of course, you will get a negative value. Okay, so that's all for the question. So hopefully I have answered all the question. Okay. So thank you very much.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I already do a draft of the system architecture. Maybe I can share screen and then you give some comment.
Can. I stop mine.
Okay. 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 So, okay, sir, I think can see.
Producer, streaming engine, processing layer, and then consumer display, consumer display, consumer Java, AWS. Docker, I don't think this is the apa? Because I cannot see the flow. So you put the box, right? Okay, I cannot see the
I
flow.
expect it's from left to right. I expect it's from left to right. I think.
Left to right. So why you have the AWS there? The last one.
As a extra feature and also the last part of the data visualization thing.
So for example kan, consumer flow to AWS. Is it correct?
I think that's my plan. But if the one is not the one is if that process is wrong, then maybe I can change.
So normally, so Kafka, we put the Kafka file in the AWS, the Kafka server normally. So if you want to process a huge number, so we install Kafka inside the AWS. So it depends which process are critical. If the consumer process is critical, you need AWS. That means you must install the producer in the AWS. Sorry, it's the consumer. Sorry, just now I mentioned consumer, right? If the consumer critical, to have fast processing or maybe bigger storage, you need to put the consumer in the AWS. If producer critical, that means you must put producer in the AWS. But if the producer and consumer is not critical, because sometimes you can have many consumer, sometimes you need to have we can have many producer, right? So maybe all the producer and consumer are very small, are not very critical, but the critical part is the Kafka. So that means you need to install Kafka in the AWS. So that's why I said I don't understand why you put AWS at the back.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, so AWS is depend because AWS actually we want to have faster processor and bigger space, and maybe we want to have more than one processor at the same time. So which part is critical? So you must put the critical part there. And not to put everything there. But it's also possible to put everything in AWS actually. For example, if you develop application but you want to choose AWS as a hosting server, for example, so you can put everything in AWS, also possible. Okay, but the problem is you will be charged more lah. Okay, so that's why I'm thinking which one you apa nama? You prefer. But when you put the box like this, I cannot see the flow. So why in my case, why you put sorry, in my case, what I see from here, so you want to put the Telegram bot Java in the WS, right? AWS.
Yes, yes.
So in that case, correct lah. So if you plan to put Telegram bot in AWS, that's me. So you can put not flow to the AWS. That means you need to have one box outside the Telegram bot saying that AWS. You understand what I mean?
Yes. Okay.
Telegram bot inside AWS. So that's what I think the flow can easier to be understood. If everything you want to put in AWS, that means you must draw a bigger box saying that one is AWS.
Okay.
But I would prefer the flow. The flow, that
Yes.
means from one process you have another arrow, because arrow can go in and go out. So we have arrow when you use Kafka, the arrow can go in and can go out, and also can go cross. What we call as cross event. I don't know what is the right term, but it can go cross based on the number of the topic and the number of consumer and producer. But in this case, I cannot see the topic flow in and flow out.
Topic. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. But it's a good start. It's a good start. I can see your apa nama? The producer, the consumer is there. Okay.
So the Docker, which arrow should point to the Docker, after the Kafka or after the processing layer?
Docker actually is your application. For example, if you want to put the Telegram bot in a Docker, so that means you must draw Docker as a big box.
Docker is the whole application.
Docker is the container. Okay, is the container. That means which application you want to put inside the container, inside the Docker. So that means, let's say you want to put Telegram bot in the Docker. That means you must draw a big box outside the Telegram bot, saying that one is Docker. And then later maybe you want to install, or you want to apa nama? Install. I can say install install the Telegram bot, or maybe you want to host the Telegram bot, the Docker of the Telegram bot in the AWS. So that means the first layer is the Telegram bot, outside is the Docker, and then the bigger box is the AWS.
Telegram bot is the first layer, AWS the second, and then Docker will be the third. If the flow is like that.
Or maybe if you want to do the another way, you can just draw, and maybe you can put some highlight saying that this is Docker, the Docker layer. Okay, for example, at the bottom there, you just put maybe a color saying that this is Docker. Also possible. So you don't have to draw the box. Maybe you put different color or different indicator saying that this is Docker. The application inside Docker. You use Docker for that particular application. So that means I can differentiate the Docker and also the normal application. So
Okay,
I
understand.
think the best way you must go and find Kafka architecture for any type of application. Then you can see the flow there. So you edit from there.
Okay, so okay.
So you go and find Kafka architecture. Maybe Kafka for Uber, Kafka for marketing, for example, any type of application, and you can see the architecture of that system lah. Okay,
Oh.
from there you can follow, you can edit. But this one I cannot see the flow. So when you use Kafka is actually data streaming, right? For streaming event. So when you stream something, I cannot see the flow. So which one is the flow? Right, left, cross, multi-layer, or I am not very sure. I'm not very sure right now lah. Not very clear. So the best way you find one or two example of architecture using Kafka, and then you follow from there. Okay.
Okay, can answer. Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Welcome. Okay, thank you class. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.